Even in the book of Daniel, he's sitting in prison in Babylon. He then got elevated as a ruler. He's been praying for the restoration of Jerusalem. And then what happened? An angel from Yahweh comes and says, hey, I would have came 2-3 weeks earlier, but the angel of Persia, yeah, he detained us for a while. But we finally here. And the point is that the cosmic conflict on earth mirrors a conflict in heaven. But Genesis 1 gave us the categories for that. The rulers above and the rulers below. And they're meeting each other right here in Joshua 5. So when I get to Joshua 10 and the sun stops, the fact that the rulers above could play a role in aiding the ruler below, this is how you get there. Selah. Think on this. Today we want to pay attention to rulers, not like rulers for measurements, the rulers that the Most High has appointed to rule in the scriptures. Shalom, shalom. Good evening and happy after the Sabbath day. I am Brother Nicodemus O. Smith. That's O. not K. No relation. I am representing Nehelak, the Walkabout series, here only on Study the Bible, Not the Sermon TV. So let's check it out. Still in chapter 1, talking about day 4. This is the creation, verse 14 through 19. And it says, and God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day and the lesser light to rule the night. And he made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth and to rule over the day and over the night and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the 4th day. What are the lights in the sky for? What is their meaning? Not what is their composition. What is their purpose? 1, divide the day and the night. 2, give light on the earth. Then in 16, he says the greater of the lights to rule the day and the lesser of the lights to rule the night. In 17, they are to give light on the earth. But in 18, the author doubles down that they are to rule. The Most High is here, for 1, sharing his authority to separate things. Day 1, 2, and 3, we saw Elohim alone separating stuff. And now on day 4, sharing that power. And then number 2, delegating his authority and rulership. Because he rules the day and night, but this is a delegation of authority on the 2 lights. Maybe one day we'll talk about these lights, why they're called lights and not sun and moon. But either way, they rule. How would an ancient Israelite know when it's the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread or the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles? The light that rules the night will be full, big, and bright. And where do these lights rule from? Where are they? In the firmament of the heavens, of course. The Bible says that they are signs. And I am saying that they are also symbols. And today we're going to explore why I say that and why it matters. A symbol represents something abstract like spiritual beings. In Exodus 3, once Moses takes off his shoes and cuddles up to the fiery bush, what God tells Moses is, hey, yo, you're going to go bring all of the people here to this mountain. And then in Exodus 3 and verse 12, it says, certainly I will be with thee, and this shall be a token unto thee that I have sent thee. When thou hast brought forth the people out of Egypt, you shall serve God on this mountain. The word token here is the same word translated as sign in Genesis 1. So God is telling Moses, if at any point, if you wonder, did I make all this stuff up? Did I catch a contact high inhaling something on my way up the mountain? This is going to be that sign that I sent you. When you bring the people out of Egypt and you come right here, this thing that just happened to you, it's going to happen for everybody. So in other words, this moment at the bush is a symbol of the big show that's going to happen, that you can read about in Exodus 19, where God shows up on the mountain with the cloud on fire, or with the cloud and fire. So the bush is just a sign or a symbol of the ultimate glory cloud that will hover here. The point is that there's an intrinsic connection between the sign and the reality. The bush is not on fire, not so much with the posted speed limit signs in my neighborhood. There's no interconnection to a stop sign or a 45-mile-an-hour sign with what it represents, the law or a group of people. In Hebrew, there's a close connection between the symbol and the reality. Fire in a bush is like a small taste of the fire on a mountain that's going to consume. What are we supposed to conclude when we are told that the lights in the firmament are symbols? Remember, the pairing of day 1 and 4 just put the logic together here. Who is the ultimate source of light? Elohim, for verse 2. That's why Exodus is a good example, because it's God's fire, right? So God is the ultimate source of light. So all these lights in the firmament, they like mirrors, which is another metaphor. They're like little symbols of the source of light that is greater than any one of them. Additionally, when Joshua leads the people into the land before their first battle, Joshua meets somebody in chapter 5. They celebrate Passover. Then Joshua about to go up to Jericho, that famous battle. In verse 13, it says, "And it came to pass when Joshua was by Jericho, he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Hey, are you for us or for our adversaries? And he said, No. But as the captain of the host of the Lord, I am now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship, and said unto him, What saith my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Take off your shoes, boy, for the place you standing on is holy. And Joshua did so, right? And then they copy and paste from what the angel said to Moses in Mount Sinai at the burning bush. So the ruler below, Joshua, is encountering his heavenly counterpart, the ruler above. And in Joshua and in Judges, you'll get these reflections that the battle on earth reflects a conflict between rebel spiritual beings and God's spiritual beings up above, like they're mirrors. The whole cosmos is in rebellion. And this is all about that snake, the serpent, in the book of Daniel. He's been praying for the restoration of Jerusalem. And then what happened? An angel from Yahweh comes and says, Hey, I would have came 2-3 weeks earlier, but the angel of Persia, he detained us for a while. But we finally here. And the point is that the cosmic conflict on earth mirrors a conflict in heaven. But Genesis 1 gave us the categories for that. The rulers above and the rulers below. And they're meeting each other right here in Joshua 5. So when I get to Joshua 10 and the sun stops, the fact that the rulers above could play a role in aiding the ruler below, this is how you get there. Now, I'm not saying it makes it easy for me to believe, but I'm saying I can sympathize with and understand how it works in the biblical cosmology. That's all I got for us today. Check us out next week, Lord willing, when we will still be camped out in Genesis chapter 1. Until then, we up. You for us or for our enemies? No.